live. This will happen and it should work. Okay, perfect. So let me share my live stream. So everyone, we're now live for the free weekly outlook. Join and ask your questions here. Okay, perfect. So this is the announcement in the Discord. Let me just send it as well on Instagram, so like that we can actually make sure that everyone joins. Okay, so this is like that. This is perfect. Bam. Okay, we're now live for the free weekly outlook. Okay, perfect. And here on For Traders YouTube channel. Yay. Okay. And then let's put the link. Watch here for free. Okay. Perfect. And then let's put a little music. Oh, wait. Wait a minute. I want to put a music. Okay. Perfect. Okay. So guys, everything is now done. So we can start the live stream. So yeah, like usually guys, we're gonna go over the major Forex pairs without any issues. So yeah, we're gonna go on the major Forex pairs like usually, and the story and everything is now uploaded. So yeah, that's perfect. So guys, hope everyone is doing well. We have people joining slowly right here. I can do as well an announcement on For Traders YouTube channel. I have the permission to do the announcement somehow. Okay. So everyone, I'm not gonna do the announcement channel. I'm just gonna do it here. For the free weekly outlook, you can have the chance to win a free 6K challenge at the end of it. 6K for traders challenge at the end of it. Perfect. Join and ask your questions here. Live on For Traders YouTube channel. Okay, perfect. Okay, as you can see, bam, that's good. Okay, perfect. So let's start right now. All the announcement is made. So guys, first of all, again, we're gonna go over all the major Forex pairs. If you have any questions in between, don't hesitate to just ask it in the chat. What's time there? What's the time there? You see my... Oh, you don't see my time. Interesting. I mean, you see my time here, I think. Yeah, it's 11:18, as you can see. USD CHF. So... USD CHF. UTC -4, that's what I wanted to say. But honestly, yeah. So this is the time zone right now that we have, UTC -4. Okay guys, so let's go first of all on any major pairs, and then I'm gonna go on indices and gold to see what happened. We have a few trades right now that mitigated the POYs, so we're gonna go over them and see if we can look for any trades or any entries and stuff like that. So yeah, we're gonna do all the updates and everything. So yeah, first of all, let's see for Euro USD. So wait a minute, let me just do it like this. Okay, perfect. So Euro USD, as you can see guys right here, the POY got mitigated. So first of all, let's do a quick recap of my strategy, because if we don't know what I'm looking for, that would be kind of hard to look for an entry. So guys, my strategy is really simple. First of all, we need a higher time frame structure. Okay, we need a higher time frame structure. So in this case, we're gonna identify if we're bullish or if we are bearish. So if we're pushing to the downside, we're bearish. So in this case, we are pushing to the downside, we're in a downtrend, so we're bearish. After we identify that in this case we're looking to go down, we're going to identify our last break of structure to the downside. So in this case, this is the last break of structure to the downside, to then look for your range. Right here we had a little liquidity sweep. So basically your range is from the highest point that broke the low, as you can see. So this is the high that broke the low. So this is the high, and the lowest point, it's the low. So this is your range from this high to this low. After that, you're going to identify your Fibonacci from the high to the bottom to identify now all the valid POIs above the 0.5, so basically in premium. Why we want to identify only POIs in premium and not in discount, so basically below the 0.5? It's pretty simple. It's because as we're looking for a sell, you actually don't want to sell too low. If not, price might continue to have a deeper pullback and mitigate the POIs and the zones upside, and then you're going to get stopped out too early because you entered too early. So that's why we're not going to identify points of interest or areas below the 0.5. That's too low for looking for a sell in your range. So in this case, as you can see, we're basically let me just delete all of this so we can go from scratch. So we basically have this. Then we identify the range. We're going to identify our valid points of interest, basically above the 0.5, like I just said. We're going to start identifying our points of interest on the 4 hour, and then we're going to go on the 1 hour. So there's nothing on the 4 hour according to my rules, so that's why we're going to go on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, again, all above the 0.5, so this yellow line, we're going to identify the POIs. So in this case, we have a 1 hour POI right here. And we have as well a 1 hour POI right here. Now you will tell me, okay, but why those POIs are valid, guys, right? Why are they valid? It's pretty simple. It's because they have all the rules. First of all, a valid POI needs to be the opposite color candle. So if we're looking for a bearish POI, we need the color of the candle to be bullish. So in this case, my bullish candles are blue. Then they need to be connected to an imbalance. So in this case, we have a fair value gap / imbalance exactly right here. It's connected to each other. And right here, this POI is actually connected to this little tiny imbalance. As you can see right here, this is not a fair value gap. The fair value gap would be there, but the imbalance is here as well. So yeah, both POIs are valid. So now we're gonna wait for the POI mitigation, and when the POI is mitigated, we're gonna wait for a confirmation. We're not straight away entering right here. If you straight away enter right here, you might get stopped out. You don't want that. You want a confirmation afterwards. So in this case, when the POI is mitigated, you're gonna go on the 15-minute, and you're gonna wait for a 15-minute change of character / break to the downside. So how to identify the high or the low that you need to break for having your break of structure / change of character? It's pretty simple. First of all, it's normal that your 15-minute is bullish because your 15-minute is actually the pullback of the higher time frame right here. So even if the high time frame is bearish, your 15-minute to mitigate the POI is necessarily bullish. So you want it to change back to bearish. So that's why we're going to be waiting for a break of structure to the downside so we can have a change of character to now be bearish. So as you can see exactly right here, to identify the change of character, we first of all need to identify the valid pullback. Because if we don't have a pullback, we don't have a range. And if we don't have a range, we cannot identify the low that we need to break to have a change of character, right? So pretty simple, guys. What do we do right here? So to identify a valid pullback, we need to see where is the little pullbacks that we have in the structure. So we have one here, we have one here, and we have some of them there. We're going to be focusing on the closest pullback to the high. So this is the highest point. So we're going to be just going down to identify where is the last pullback. Right here, as you can see, we have these two candles, and you might ask yourself, okay, but is this a valid pullback? We can see. So first of all, we need, for me to be considered a valid pullback, we need really simple rules. Okay, so how you can identify a valid pullback, it's pretty simple. On the lower time frame, okay, I want minimum 2 candles of the opposite direction pushing down without closing above the first one that initiated the move. Okay, so now you'll tell me, I completely didn't understand what you just said. Don't worry about it. We're gonna explain it right now. So let's first of all start with one candle. One candle, wow, pretty, super cool. So we have a 1 candlestick pullback. If the next one breaks structure to the upside, that's not a valid pullback because it's only 1 candle. We need minimum 2, okay? They don't need to be consecutive. The only thing that they need to do is that you see this first candle that initiated the move to the downside. The next one needs to close below. If we close above with the next candle, that invalidates the sequence. So in this case, if we look at the next candle, did we close above? The answer is no. We pretty much just close at the same level. Same level doesn't count as closing above. If you want it to close above, it actually needs to close above, you know, same level, it's fine. So okay, we're still in the same first candlestick high and low of the body, so that's good. Then, as you can see, the next candle pushed lower. So our sequence is now there. We have the first candle, and then we have another one that pushed lower than the first candle initial move. So, as you can see right here, we pushed down. Then we never broke the body closure high, and we instead broke down again right here. So this is the 2 candlestick pullback that is valid for a pullback. So now that means if price breaks structure to the upside, like it happened right here, this means that this is a valid pullback to look for then the low to break to then have a change of character there. Okay, if we only had a pullback right here, like with 1 candle, and then we straight away pushed up, this wouldn't have been a valid pullback. Here it's valid, here it's valid, here it's valid. Here it's pretty simple because straight away the 2 of them push down one after the other. Here it's a bit more tricky, but now you know exactly how to identify a valid pullback. So then you'll see that price just pushed up. Okay guys, this is really important. You know we have a rule. So I'm gonna rephrase it a little bit better, but let's listen to that. We have a rule that how to identify if a POI is too old or now invalid. Maybe not too old, but just invalid. So how to identify if a POI is invalid or not? It's pretty simple. We are always looking on the same time frame that the POI is, if it closed above the POI or if it just stopped or closed inside. So what does that mean? So right here, you see we have a 1 hour POI that is a valid POI according to my rules, okay? So opposite color candle connected to the imbalance that isn't mitigated yet, okay? Now, right here, price mitigated this POI. As you can see, we have a huge wick, right, that completely went through the POI. Huge wick, as you can see. The thing is, this huge wick, we don't care because we're always only looking at the body closure. If the body closed inside the POI, so this is the POI, as you can see, it closed inside, the POI is still valid. This wick is actually just a liquidity sweep. So as you can see right here, we have a big liquidity sweep right here, and then we have a reaction. So we don't care if basically the wick closed above the POI, we only care about the body. As the body closed inside, it's good. It's the same time frame as well as the POI is. This is a 1 hour time frame and this is a 1 hour POI. It doesn't make sense to go on the 4 hour or to go on the 15 minutes because as you can see, the 15-minute POI not POI, but as you can see, the 15-minute actually closed above, but we don't care about that because this body closure on the 15-minute, if you go on the 1 hour, it's actually only the wick. So that's why we don't care about if the 15-minute closed above, because as it's not on the same time frame as the POI is, that doesn't make any sense, because it's normal that the wicks on the lower time frame will be body closures. That's how the fractality of the market structure works. So yeah, that's why just what I wanted to say is that if you have a 15-minute body closure above a POI that is not on the 15-minute, you don't care about that. You always need to match your POI invalidation with the same time frame that the POI is. So okay, that's good. So yeah, that means that this is still the low we need to break. Okay, that's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. And as you can see right here, guys, bam, we have our break of structure to the downside. Yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo, yoo-hoo. After the break of structure to the downside, we actually need to densify our range and our POIs. You'll see that right here, instead of mitigate any POIs, price just decides to push down more, as you can see. So we're just pushing more. And we pushed more until to this point, okay? So you can identify, of course, all your valid POIs above the 0.5. So in this case, we have this 15-minute POI. If you go on the 5-minute, we have nothing else. If you go on the 1 minute, we can see if we have any other 1-minute POIs. So nothing here, nothing here. Okay, so little problem. Okay, little problem. Why do we have a problem here? Okay, so let me just explain it really, really well so you guys can understand exactly what I'm talking about. Okay, let me explain it super, super clearly. Okay, so listen to that. After the 15-minute change of character / break of structure to the downside, exactly right here, that is our confirmation to look for an entry according to the strategy. We need to identify a extreme POI to look for an entry there, covering with your stop loss the overall 15-minute high, so your stop loss would be here, and the take profit final will be at the hourly low. The hourly low in this case would be in this area right here, or the closest one technically is right here. But the thing is, your risk to reward ratio needs to be more than 104 at your take profit final according to my strategy for it to have good results. If it's below if it's below than 104 risk to reward ratio at the take profit final, not the take profit one, but the take profit final, you can't really take this trade, because with the win rate of the strategy, we need a high risk to reward ratio. So basically, we are kind of controlling the risk parameters of the strategy. If we have a too low risk to reward ratio, we cannot actually have a good gain with the strategy because of the win rate. Okay, it's super important to always associate your win rate of the strategy and the risk to reward ratio of the strategy together and combine it, so then you have the best parameters of your strategy. In this case, if we enter right here, the stop loss would be above the high, and the take profit final, like we saw, technically would be right here at the hourly low. You see already that the risk to reward ratio is only 103, even less than 103 risk to reward ratio. So what happens in this case? If the risk to reward ratio is less than 104 at take profit final that we identified be at this hourly low, you cannot take this trade. If you take this trade, again, you're not securing your risk according to the results with the win rate of the strategy. I don't know why my light is kind of glitching. Hello, are you okay? My light is glitching. Do you think my cat ate the cable? Maybe my cat ate the cable. Stop glitching. Okay. So yeah, that's why what I wanted to say about this trade. This trade is not good to look for an entry right now. So instead, what you can do, you can either refine this entry or wait for a 1 minute break of structure. So as you can see right here, there is no really any refined opportunity. I mean, there's a 1 minute in between, like right here. That's the highest refinement possible technically. and the 5 minute there is nothing else. So at the worst case scenario, you can refine it like this, but same thing, even if you refine it like this, the risk reward ratio is still bad, as you can see. So problem, this one you cannot take it because the refinement is still bad even with the 1 minute POI. So the only other option you can wait is your 1 minute break and then look for an internal lower time frame trade. But yeah, for the 15 minute is not good. I know it's not my fib. I know it's not my fib yet, and price is just technically, you know, running. But yeah, we just pushed down, and right now price is exactly here. We pushed a bit down. This 15-minute POI is still valid, and it's still the most extreme POI. You know, still the most extreme POI. Right here we have a POI before the most extreme one on the 5 minutes, and we have nothing else except for that. I mean, we have technically a 1 minute POI right here. There is as well a POI before the most extreme one on the 1 minute, but none of them are mitigated yet. So yeah. So, okay, what do we do with this trade after all this blah, 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 blah? The thing is, Euro USD, this you cannot enter straight away. That's 100% sure. If you enter here straight away, you're going to get, you know, have a way worse chance to have a good trade. So what happens in this case? You actually need to wait for a 1 minute break. So at any of those POIs, you need to wait for a 1 minute break. So when price mitigate those POIs, you need to go on the lower time frame and wait for a 1 minute break to look for a lower time frame entry, because the high time frame right here on the 15 minute is not good. So let me just drink my coffee and then I'm gonna get back to you guys. Okay. Perfect. So this is good. Okay. So we don't have any questions for now. We don't have any questions for now. So that's good. That's good. Okay. So yeah, that's it for Euro USD, guys. And we have as well, I mean, the POI above right here. Okay, so GP USD, what happened since the previous week? I mean, honestly, nothing much. Since the previous week, we were in this area on the previous week, like weekly live stream. So we're in this area. I mean, we didn't even push lower. This was already the lowest point. So yeah, honestly, on GP USD, there is nothing to do, nothing else since the previous week. We had a 1 hour POI in this area here, but it got destroyed. So as you can see, what I was talking about, guys, how to see if a POI is invalidated or not, okay? How to see if a POI is invalidated or not is pretty simple. So basically, if you want to see if the POI is invalidated or not, you need to go on the same time frame that the POI is. And like I was explaining, you need to wait to see if it closes above the POI. So in this case, as you can see, this was the 1 hour POI that we're looking for a sell. And when the POI went inside of it, the price went inside of the POI, you see we closed above the POI. So straight away, you know that this POI is no longer valid. So even if it creates your 15-minute change of character and all the confirmations, you don't care about it because it basically already failed. You don't want to take a trade from a POI that didn't have any reaction whatsoever. So that's why this POI, it's ciao bye. So yeah, that's why that was the only valid POI on GP USD, and there's anything else, there's nothing else. So yeah, I mean, we just wait for the POIs above, and for now this will just be some liquidity, you know, some inducement liquidity for the POIs above right here. Okay, so that's pretty much it for GP USD. Let's go on USD GPY. So same thing, guys, right here. Let's see what happens. So we had this range and we had this previous range. So we had this range on USD/POI, and we had as well this previous range. So as you can see, the POIs got mitigated. So when a POI is mitigated, this means that you can look for an entry. Okay, so right here, this was a 1 hour POI here and a 1 hour POI here. You can already see that the first POI right here got destroyed. So this is buy because we closed below. If you go on the same time frame that the POI is, the 1 hour time frame right here, price action closed below the 1 hour POI. So this POI is gone. Now we tapped, wait a minute, I was not in replay, whatever. Now what happened is that we tapped into the POI, and when the POI is mitigated, we need to wait for a 15-minute change of character. So in this case, the 15-minute change of character happened right here, not right here. Remember what happened is that this is exactly what I was explaining. This is the first candle that initiated the move, and then the next one closed below, as you can see. So the sequence is invalidated. So this is not a 2 candlestick pullback. So that doesn't count as a 2 candlestick pullback. Instead, we have this break of structure, and as you can see right here, it already basically left pretty much without us. The thing is technically the hourly high, technically the hourly high is there. Technically the hourly high is there. And according to the rules of my strategy, a trade... Wait a minute. I have something in my throat. Okay. So according to the rules of my strategy, a trade is still valid as long as it did not reach the hourly high that is supposed to be as well your take profit final. So as you can see right here, if this is the take profit final, so the hourly high, and it makes sense because we are on the 1 hour time frame, and the last break of structure to the downside happened here. So what happens is that this is the high connected to the previous low that has been broken. So this is the high, and as well this is the hourly high for a take profit final. The thing is, we already mitigated the POI, as you can see right here, and we're starting to push higher and kind of leaving without us, as you can see. So the chances for the price to come back down and to go back up again are more slim, than if straight away we would have caught this reaction from the POI straight away. The thing is, with the strategy, we really want price to mitigate the POI first and then straight away enter into the trade so we can move with the price while it's pushing to the upside. If it's pushing to the upside without us in the trade, it's already a more riskier trade because the trade already kind of left. And the thing is, why this is more tricky, it's because it technically didn't reach the real take profit final that is at the hourly high right here. And the rules of the strategy are saying that if price didn't reach the take profit final, the entry is still valid, right? So if the strategy says that, you actually need to follow it, okay? But it's true at the same time that, like I said, price already reacted and left without us. So what do we do, right? What do we do, okay? The thing is, you need to manage your risk with your strategy, okay? And the safest thing that you can actually do right here is, if you know that the trade already left, but technically the trade is still valid, and this is a full risk trade, you can still take the trade because there's no technically things that the strategy says that, yeah, the trade is leaving, so you need to, ignore the trade. The strategy says if it doesn't hit your take profit final, you can still take it. So we need to follow it. But at the same time, you are your own person, you are deciding your risk. So technically this should be full risk, but if you know that the trade is already leaving and you're all kind of not sure if you should take this trade or not yet, you can lower your risk, and still take the trade, but with the risk lowered. That's it. So that's what we're gonna do here. So in this case, as this is the range, we got our 15-minute break of structure / change of character to the upside here. We're going to be identifying your POIs and your entries. So in this case, we're going to start always on the 15-minute. So we have a 15-minute POI here. We have a 15-minute POI here. And that's it. And if you go on, can I add another candle right here? Nope. Okay, now we're gonna go on the 5 minute. So we're gonna go here. We have a 5 minute POY. We have another 5 minute POY. Okay, another 5 minute POY. Okay. Another 5 minute POY. Okay, that's it. And if you go on the 1 minute, first of all, let's see if we can identify the most extreme POY. So it looks like the most extreme POY is already the 5 minute one. There is nothing lower. There's other POYs in between, like this one. I'm just gonna be identifying it like this one. We have a lot of POYs in between, by the way, like a lot of them. Like this one. And I mean, we have a lot of POYs in between, so this is gonna be a bit harder to trade, but it's fine. The thing is, we only have one trade before the most extreme one anyway, so if it doesn't happen, it doesn't happen, and that's it. This one is not valid. Okay, and this one, nope. Here we have already this, and here we already have that. Okay, so identified all the POIs. Now you will tell me, why would you have so much POIs identified? What's going on? That's crazy. That's a lot of POIs. Are we not just supposed to take the most extreme one? And yeah, you can take the most extreme one. That's the first step. You know, you always place your stop loss, your entry, and your take profit first from your extreme POI. That in this case is this 5 minute one right here. But you as well have POIs before the most extreme one where price can react. The thing is, you're not gonna entering everywhere. You know, you don't enter everywhere. Okay, so you have multiple POIs. So basically, all of this, as you can see, are valid POIs. So they're 1 minute. This is 1 minute 2. Oops, 1 minute 2. Okay, so you have multiple POIs, and then you will be like, oh my god, why I have so many POIs? Why can I not just enter at the most extreme POI and that's it? The thing is, the range is so big that I wouldn't be surprised if price just come here, just break structure in between, and then continues to push to the upside. The thing is, this is already really deep as a pullback, so yeah, it can happen that price just push down, completely destroys everything else and mitigates the most extreme one. But at the same time, you know, we have a lot of other places where price might show a reaction. And the thing is, we're not going to be entering everywhere. You're not going to be placing your entry here and then your entry here, you know, So you're not going to be placing your entry here and then 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 another entry here. You know, that doesn't make any sense. You know, you're not going to be doing that. You're not going to be stacking your trades like this. Makes no sense. Look at this, bro. Why would you be entering every single level that you think that there might be a reaction without any further confirmation? And I've seen a lot of people doing that. Like, I've seen a lot of people that send me screenshots and say, okay, I found all my POIs. I have this. So I'm going to enter here. No, if everything just drops down like this, bam, 5 losses in a row. Do you want to have 5 losses in a row? I don't think so. So that's why you need to always wait for a confirmation. And as well, if your first entry fails, so right here, you know, let's say you wait for your confirmation on the 1 minute, okay? You waited for one confirmation on the 1 minute, and instead of not, you know, having a good trade and a win, price just pushes down and it's a loss, okay? All the POIs before the most extreme one are no longer useful if you already had a loss or as well a win. So basically, if you had a loss right here, you already tried a POI before the most extreme one, so you're not going to be trying all the POIs at once, because again, in one single trade, you don't want to have 5 losses. So you always have only one try here, and the most extreme POI is the second try that you have. So if the POI before the most extreme one fails, you only have the most extreme one that is valid and nothing else. So that's it. So that's why right now we have a lot of POIs, and now you're going to tell me, okay, but how do I wait for a confirmation? Add an alert, okay? Add an alert at your POIs. When the alert is activated, you're going to go on the trade and see for a 1 minute change of character. If it doesn't happen, you just wait for the POIs below. And if you don't want to deal with this, you can just enter the most extreme one as well. But you need to be careful, because if a POI reacts before the most extreme one, your most extreme one won't be valid anymore. Okay, so that's it for USD GPY. GP GPY, there is nothing else. We still have the exact same thing as on the previous week. USD CHF, we tapped into a 4-hour POI for a sell, as you can see. So this is a 4-hour POI for a sell. We tapped into it. So if you go on the 15-minute, we had the exact same thing, break of structure to the downside, and now it's time to look for an entry. So same thing, there is nothing in between. Price just pushed down, push down, push down. The hourly low for this trade, the hourly low, technically we got a break of structure. We got a break of structure downside here. We got a break of structure downside here. Then we had a break of structure upside here. So this is technically the hourly low. This is a closer low, but the real hourly low would be here. This was too close. So this is the low basically of the trade. Okay. As you can see. So the trade still didn't reach the final take profit. So what does that mean? It means that we can still look for an entry. Okay, super cool. Okay, so same thing that we did on USD GPY just now. We're going to be identifying our valid points of interest. So we have a 15-minute one here, a 15-minute one here, and that's it. And okay, and let's go on the 5 minutes, and okay. Okay, so let's go on the 5 minutes. So we have as well a 5-minute POI right here. Super, super cool. And except for that, we can as well go higher. Nothing else on the 5 minutes. Okay, not cool. So let's go now on the 1 minute. On the 1 minute, we have as well a 1 minute POI. Okay, we have a 1 minute POI right here. And we have as well a 1 minute POI right here. By the way, guys, if you don't remember how to identify valid POIs, don't hesitate to go on For Traders YouTube channel. I have a whole video on how to identify POIs. So don't hesitate to go see it if you don't remember. It's on For Traders YouTube channel. You just look for it. It's in the older videos, but it's still the same rules. Nothing changed. Okay, so we have this 1 minute POI here too, ploop, 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 and that's it. Nothing else. There is nothing else. Okay, so a lot of POIs again. There's a lot of POIs again. So let's try to figure out what's going on. So 1 minute here, 5 minutes here, and there is 2 1 minutes here. Okay. Okay, so the most extreme POI in this case is this 1 minute one. So if you do this, stop loss above the high, take profit at the hourly low. As you can see, 105 risk trade ratio, super cool. And the same thing, this is good. So everything else right here, wait for a 1 minute break. And at the most extreme POI, you just enter. So exactly the same principle that happened on USD GPY. Remember, exactly the same thing. So you're not going to be entering here, whatever. You're going to wait for a 1 minute break here. And then if it doesn't happen, you just enter the most extreme POI. If it happens and it fails, you just enter the most extreme POI. If it happens and if wins, you release, you delete all the POIs, included the most extreme one, because it already happened and it already had a win. So yeah, that's it. So yeah, guys, that's what's going on USD CHF. So don't forget to place right here. Wow. Alert, boom. So like that, when price will mitigate this POI, you're gonna be waiting for a 1 minute break of structure on the 1 minute time frame right here, and you're gonna have a notification that this POI is now mitigated, because if you don't place your alert, you don't know if this POI is mitigated. So that's why it's important to use your alerts. Okay, so I think that's pretty much it for USD CHF. You have other POIs above as well if this one doesn't work. So, okay, and except for that, USD CAD, we broke structure to the upside, but we cannot do anything here yet. AD USD, there is nothing. NZD USD, there is nothing new. Euro GBP, there's nothing new. Yeah, nothing new. Okay, NAS, we have a break of structure to the downside. So this is interesting. So we have a new range like this. So basically NAS, okay guys, let's do a quick analysis of what's going on NAS, okay? So let's do a quick analysis according to my strategy of what's going on NAS and how you can actually look for good trades right here and advance. So first of all, you need to identify again your structure and your momentum. So are we bullish or bearish? In this case, we're pushing to the downside. So we are obviously bearish, okay? So even if NAS, you know, over a long period of time is bullish, you know, because it's an index, it's fine, it's normal. Right now, the current momentum is bearish, okay? So we're gonna be looking for some sells. Then after you identified that we're bearish, we're gonna be identifying your last break of structure to the downside to identify then your range. Here, this is the last break of structure to the downside. According to my rules, I identify break of structures from a body closure to another body closure. Then after I identified my last break of structure to the downside, I can identify my range, okay? So the highest point would be this one that broke structure to the downside right here. So this is the high connected to the low, and the low is this low. So this will create for me my Fibonacci. Now I'm going to be identifying all my valid points of interest above the 0.5% to look for some sells. Again, I don't want to sell too low, because if not, there is not going to be a good enough pullback to then have a good selling point. That's why I want price to move up and go above the 0.5 to reach, in this case, premium before continuing to go down. So in this case, I'm going to be identifying all my valid POIs above the 0.5. So I have a 4-hour POI exactly right here. There's nothing else on the 4-hour. That's why I'm going to be moving on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour, there is nothing here, nothing here. So the only valid POI in this case is this 4-hour one right here, as there's nothing else on the 1 hour. So that's it. You're going to place your alert right here. So then when price will mitigate the POI, you're going to be looking for a 15-minute break of structure to the downside / change of character. And then you're going to be looking for an entry. So that's it. This is what we have for NAS. We have as well some older POIs above, but now they're getting pretty old. So yeah, so just be careful with that. This one is still valid. This one is getting pretty old. Okay, so we have some questions. I'm gonna just be finishing this and then I'm gonna reply to all the questions. So US 30, we're just pushing down a bit more. It's too aggressive right now to be considered this as a new structure. So I'm just going to be extended the fib for now in the range. And this is just liquidity for the POI right here above on the 4-hour. And except for that, there is nothing else. This is the only thing we have on US 30. So same thing, we're bearish. We identified our valid POIs and that's it. S&P, same thing, we just have an aggressive structure, so we're just going to be moving a bit more the fib. And now this 4-hour POI, you can include another candle, and except for that, nothing else. Let's go on the 1 hour. On the 1 hour right here, we do have a 1-hour POI, as you can see exactly right here, that is as well above the 0.5. So that's good, and except for that, there is nothing else, so that's it. And if you go on gold, don't forget as well to place your alerts, by the way. Okay. And if you go on gold, I mean, we're having a pretty deep bearish range and a break of structure. Okay, guys, so I just want to say something, okay? So remember, as on gold, right here, okay? Remember right here, we had a 4-hour POI counter trend, okay? I just want to explain this because it's kind of funny and it's really important for you to understand that. So, at the beginning of March, so in this case right here, March 1st, something like that, we had the news for the war, you know, so the war with Iran, etc. So we had the news announcement for the war during the weekend. Okay, during the weekend. And there is a lot of people that started to say, oh, you should buy gold instead of selling because, again, it will boost the gold up. So the thing is, according to my strategy, yes, I know with the fundamentals and everything, a lot of people wanted to buy gold. But I was saying, okay, guys, if it's your strategy, you can do it. But according to my strategy, as you can see, I have a 4-hour POI counter trend to look for a sell. So basically, what happened is that I was completely against what a lot of people were saying. They were saying, buy gold, buy gold, buy gold. And I was like, okay, but my strategy told me to sell. So the thing is, yes, I could have ignored this sell and listened to the noise and think, okay, but a lot of people think that gold will just continue to push up and then the sell wouldn't be valid. I would have a loss. You know, I could have started overthinking, but the thing is, if I do that, the strategy doesn't make any sense because the strategy is controlled risk, right? But if I just take other strategies in considerations or other people's thoughts into consideration and not following what I was supposed to do first initially, that would completely destroy the strategy, okay? So that's why even if I had a 4-hour POI sell, I said, okay, if you want to buy, you can buy. But I personally right here, according to my strategy, I want to sell, you know? And in this case, look what happened. People that were saying you need to buy, you need to buy, you need to buy, it was false, you know. Even if like 80% of people thought there's gonna be a buy, I said no, I want to sell. So as you can see, price reacted from my 4-hour POI, and instead right now we are in a downtrend. So this is a really important lesson that you need to always follow what you think is right and what your strategist says is right. Because if you start listening to all the noise around and make your decision based on that and stop following the strategy, you're gonna miss trades or you're gonna basically have losses where you shouldn't have to because you're not basically listening to what you're supposed to do. So that's why, as you can see, I just wanted to show you that now we have a new break of structure to the downside, and actually we have a new bearish range, and this is as well a confirmation that now gold is bearish according to my rules. Again, I know maybe this is just, again, a deeper pullback. There's gonna be a liquidity sweep and then we're gonna push to the upside, but we don't know that yet. According to my strategy, now we're bearish, so I'm gonna be looking for some sells. So now this 4-hour POI is no longer counter trend, and now in this new range we can look for POIs. So we have a 4-hour here. I don't even know if it's valid. Nope, it's mitigated. So we have a 4-hour POI right here that is according to my rules, and there is nothing else. So we can go on the 1 hour, and on the 1 hour we have this 1-hour POI that is valid and nothing else. And then we have as well nothing here. It's, oh yes, 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 this is good. So we have a 1-hour POI here connected to a tiny fair value gap. And then we have as well this 1-hour POI right here, bam, bam, and nothing else. So looks like this is, oh, wait, I missed this one. Okay, so we have nothing here, 1 POI here that is valid, 1 POI here that is valid, 1 POI here that is valid, this is good, and this is good. Okay, so this is all the POIs we have on gold. So I'm gonna be waiting for the POI's mitigation, my 15-minute change of character / break to the downside, and we're gonna be looking for a trade. So my alert goes here. Okay, so that's it. What do we have for gold? You know, some people want me to do Bitcoin as well, so I can go on Bitcoin for you guys to see what's going on. Okay, so this is interesting. We already analyzed Bitcoin on the previous, I think not the previous week, but the week before that. And we identified this structure. So basically this high, this low, and this is the previous range. We had a 4-hour POI. I was saying that Bitcoin is bearish. Okay, so we have a bearish range. And we identified right here a 4-hour POI. So basically the 4-hour POI got mitigated. I don't know if we had already any trade from this point. So we got our break of structure to the upside, then another break to the upside, then another break to the upside, then another break to the upside, and then here this is the break to the downside. So the entry, if we had an entry, it would have been in this area, but this looks like this looks like price mitigated the entry. I mean, not the entry, but something in this area. So this is mitigation before the most extreme one, as you can see. So we have a 5-minute POI before the most extreme one. The most extreme one is above. But as you can see, we mitigated the 5-minute POI before the most extreme one right here. So I don't even know where the most extreme one is. I'm personally not trading Bitcoin, but a lot of people are trading it. So the strategy works on crypto, by the way, guys. Okay, the most extreme POI is right here. Okay, so if I go back to my 5-minute POI, okay, so we have the most extreme POI above. So we have the most extreme POI, as you can see right here, to look for a sell. But right here we have a 5-minute POI before the most extreme one, as you can see. And if you take the range, you'll see that this 5-minute POI is as well above the 0.5% of the Fibonacci. So as you can see, price stopped the POI before the most extreme one first. So what do? You're not straight away entering right here. Like I was explaining, that doesn't make any sense because this might be a trap. This might be liquidity for the POI above. So you need to instead wait for a confirmation on the 1 minute. So when price mitigates this 5-minute POI, you need to go on the 1 minute and wait for a 1 minute break of structure to the downside / change of character to then look for an entry. So the last break of structure happened right here. So the low we need to break was this one, and bam, now you have a break to the downside. So now you can identify your most extreme POI, that in this case it's this one. You can as well include more candles if you want, like this. It's up to 3. So bam, this would have been the entry. You can as well go on the high time frame to see if you have a better entry on a high time frame. In this case, honestly, I mean, you had the 5-minute right here, but in this case, I don't know if the 5-minute would have been a good risk to reward ratio, so we can confirm. But yeah, as you can see, it's not a good risk to reward ratio. The take profit final for this trade would be at the hourly low. The hourly low is here. Technically, this is the closest one, but the next available one would be here. But yeah, the risk to ratio is bad. So basically, the 1 minute POI was good enough. So as you can see, bam, entry right here. Stop loss will be above the high, adding a few extra pips. And this would have been the trade, you know, as you can see, before the most extreme POI. So let me show you what happened. So basically the POI got mitigated, and then we just, I mean, had a bit of a consolidation for a few times, and then we started to push down and drop down. So as you can see, basically, again, the closest take profit would be here, but even there, it's not the best risk to ratio. So honestly, you could have targeted the next available one. But as you can see, the take profit final got hit. So this was a good trade according to the strategy. And as you can see, that's the reason why we have as well POIs before the most extreme one, because sometimes the most extreme POI is not mitigated, and instead we have a trade before the most extreme one exactly right here. So this is why we do that, and this is why on USD GPY and USD CHF we had other POIs before the most extreme one. And as we can see right here, it's perfect. You know, we had as well multiple options and multiple chances to enter the trade. A lot of people were telling me, okay, but if I'm not here when this happens, what can I do? The thing is, you had multiple time to enter this trade. So you had all of this. This is during Sydney session. So, okay, maybe you're not entering here, but after Sydney session, you see during Tokyo, another opportunity to enter the trade at the exact same level. If you missed the trade, guys, okay, so imagine you needed to enter the trade right here. So what do if you missed the trade, and for example, instead of entering right here where you were supposed to, you're now in this area, and basically the trade is already leaving and you're not yet in the entry because you were doing something else. The thing is, you can actually re-enter at the exact same level that you were supposed to enter first if the trade didn't hit 1 to 3 or your take profit 1 yet. So what does that mean? It means that, as you can see, the take profit 1 for this trade would have been right here. It's still supposed to be running. So if the trade comes back to break even or hit stop loss, technically, even if you entered at the right place, that would still come back and hit stop loss, you know? If it comes back to break even, it's just gonna come back to break even because you are supposed to still be in the trade right here. So no matter what happens in between the moment that you entered technically and the 103 risk to ratio, that is your take profit 1, you shouldn't be touching the trade. So what does that mean? It means that you can actually re-enter at the exact same level that you were supposed to enter first. You just place your limit back at the exact same level here with the exact same stop loss, with the exact same take profit. And if price comes back to break even, like in this case it happened right here, and taps you in, okay, because people that were already in the trade, this would just be back to break even for them, but they're still in the trade, and now you are mitigated, and now you can ride the move with them, okay? But if the trade already hit 1 to 3 risk trade ratio without you, or you take profit 1 without you, so in this case right here, you cannot enter the trade anymore because the one take profit 1 is already hit, and people who would be in this trade when it hit take profit 1, they already took their partials, they already placed your stop loss to break even. So if you re-enter again, that doesn't make sense because you shouldn't be in the trade anymore. So yeah, in this trade on Bitcoin, you see they hit final take profit according to the strategy, and it actually happened this week. It happened on Wednesday. So except for that, there's nothing else. You still have the POI above to look for another sell, but you had a win right here according to the strategy. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Let's now answer some questions. Okay, guys. So this is the recording. Okay. So did we still enter even if it's Sydney session if breakup structure happens? Okay, so if Sydney session. If you have the Sydney session that is going on, you need to wait for Sydney to pass. Okay, guys, you need to wait for Sydney to pass, and then you re-enter after Sydney. If the break of structure happens during Sydney, we don't care. We don't care when the break happens. We only care when we enter. We don't want to enter during Sydney, but everything else is fine during Sydney. Okay. How do you decide when the trend on the high time frame shifts? The same way like on the lower time frame, is there something specific you're looking for? I'm looking for 3 breakup structures, so 2 of the old ranges and 2 of the new ranges. I've talked about this on the previous live streams, so I really recommend you to just go watch the recordings of the previous live streams. So, okay. If the 1 hour high is equivalent to the 4 hour high, what can we do? You don't care about that, it's fine. You just take the same high. It's fine if it's exactly the same equivalent one. There's nothing really you can do. Okay, so I think that's it for the questions. The next move for Bitcoin, guys, I cannot really know. I don't care about what the next move on Bitcoin is. Because I'm always looking for my POIs being mitigated. So I don't care what's going on in between. I'm not here to predict the moves. I'm here to wait for my POI's mitigation. So you have 2 options. You know, you have the option for price to continue into this bullish momentum. So we have kind of a bullish momentum right here. So now we retraced pretty deeply. So it's possible that price just continues to push to the upside, but at the same time we have a POI mitigation and a reaction, so I wouldn't be surprised for price to go to the downside. So honestly, I'm not predicting moves, I'm predicting where price can go first with the POIs. So if my POI isn't mitigated, I'm not predicting like the movement in between, if that makes sense. So both sides can work, you know. Okay, so yeah, guys, that's it for the session breakdown and for the weekly outlook. So now we're gonna be doing the giveaway. So we're only 21 people watching the live stream right now, so we're only gonna take 5 people. You have a lot of chances to win right now, guys, because we're only 21, even less right now, we're 19. So yeah, we have a lot of chances to win the 6K funded account. So let me re-explain how it works, and then we're gonna be doing it. So I'm gonna be asking you guys a question. Okay, I'm gonna be asking you guys a question, and the first 5 people who got the right answer will be placed right here, their names in the wheel of names right here, as you can see. So basically your name will be placed here. I'm gonna be spinning, and the person who wins, you need to contact me on Instagram or Discord, and I'm gonna send you a promo code for having your free 6K funded account challenge. So yeah, that's pretty simple. I'm gonna be asking you a question. You need to only reply the letter. You don't need to write the whole answer down. You only reply the letter. Okay, it's not a competition who can write faster. It's only the letter. Okay, so when you have the answer, you write the letter, you send. That's it. Get ready, because it's the first 5 people who will be placed in the wheel of names. So guys, so let me place you here, and then in between I'm gonna be writing the question. So it's about something we saw today. Okay. Okay, so I have my question, and now let's see the answers. Okay. 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 So you wait, we don't care about the POY. Wait. I'm writing the answers. So wait a minute, guys. Wait a minute. I just want to formulate it good, because like that you don't have any ambiguity. Okay. Okay, perfect. So I have my question and I have my answers. So let's see. Okay. Perfect, guys. So let's wait. Let's show you the question and then I'm gonna show you the answer. So the question is, if on the 15-minute time frame the candle closes above a 1 hour POI before the 15-minute break of structure / change of character, do you still wait for the 15-minute break of structure / change of character or not? So basically, if on the 15-minute time frame the candle closed outside of the 1 hour POI, do you still wait for an entry or not? Okay, those are the answers. So yes, you wait for the 15-minute break of structure, as we don't care about the POI closures at all in the strategy. Okay, H, no you don't, because it closed above the POI. F, it depends if the candle closed above the 1 hour POI on the 1 hour time frame too. Or yes, because it's only the 15 minutes closure, we don't care about that. Okay, guys. Okay, guys. I'm waiting. The 15-minute closure, we don't care about it. Okay. Okay, guys, again, if on the 15-minute time frame the candle closed above a 1 hour POI before the 15-minute change of character / break of structure, do you still wait for the 15-minute change of character or not? Okay. So is it yes because you don't wait? Yes, because we don't care a lot at all about the POI closure and the strategy. This is K. Okay. No, because it closed above the POI. It depends if the candle closed above the 1 hour POI or not. Or yes. Okay. So guys, I'm gonna give you the answer. Okay. There's a lot of people who I think didn't actually have all the all the questions before answering. So the right answer right here is F. Okay, I think some people answered too quickly in this case, because the right answer is actually F. And I have all people who answered. There's not a lot of people who answered F. Okay, not a lot of people answered F, and a lot of people, basically, if you change your answer after that, so if you wrote K and then, or H, for example, and then you changed your answer, that doesn't count. If you delete it, doesn't count either, okay? So guys, the right answer right here was F. It depends if the candle closed above the 1 hour POI on the 1 hour time frame too. Because if it closed inside, you can still take the trade. If it closed as well above, you can no longer take the trade. So you need to verify if on the same time frame that the POI is, it as well closed above or not. Because in this case, if it closed above the POI, that doesn't make any sense, because basically the 15-minute is not the same time frame as the POI is. This is what we talked about. So that's why it depends. You need to actually look, you actually need to look on you actually need to look. If you delete your message, guys, that doesn't count as well. You're disqualified automatically, by the way. If you delete your message, that doesn't count. If you place the right message after that, that doesn't count, okay? So the right answer is F, okay? So a lot of people wrote K or H. That is not the right answer. We talked about it during multiple times this live stream. So basically, you need to verify. You always need to verify. You cannot straight away from the 15-minute decide if it's valid or not. You always need to go on the same time frame that the POI is first and then decide if it's valid or not. So you cannot, without verifying the 1 hour time frame, decide if it's good or not. You cannot. That doesn't make sense. So all of this is wrong. It only depends if you verified it or not and if it's valid or not on the 1 hour as well. Okay, so the right answer is F. Okay, so let me show you who actually got the right answer, because I think only 1 or 2 people got it right. So I'm gonna show you guys right here. So bam. Okay, so this person automatically disqualified. You delete your message, delete the message, delete the message. So all of this is wrong. This is the first person who wrote F. I don't know if you replied before. I don't think so. So if I don't see your name, that means you're good to go. So I don't see your name before that, before the right answer. So okay, this is good. This person replied F2. I don't know if you replied before that. Let's see. Yes, you replied already before that. That doesn't count. I'm telling you guys, only your first answer counts. Only the first answer counts. This person replied F. I don't know if you replied before that. Yes, you replied before that. Doesn't count. So I actually think only one person got it right. You replied before. You replied before. Okay, guys. So actually only one person got it right. Yeah, one person got it right. So this is the person who won. I don't even need to spin your name because you're the only person who got the right answer. You're only the one person who got the right answer. I don't think we had anyone else. So yeah, only one person got the right answer. So this person right here, you are the winner. You are the person who got the right answer. So let me show your channel. So right here, guys, if you recognize yourself, congratulations, because you're the only one who got the right answer. It's crazy. It's the first time this happened in every time that I'm doing the live streams. And congratulations, because the question was a little bit tricky, but that's why I tried to make it as simple, not as simple, but as clear as possible. But guys, even if you say the question was not clear, no matter what was the question, if I'm talking about POIs that are not on the same time frame, straight away, 15-minute time frame candle, 1 hour POI, it's not matching. Straight away, it's not matching. So no matter what the answers are, if you're not verifying on the same time frame that the POI is, it's wrong. It's wrong. Same thing, you go by elimination. So it's not, we're not talking about the 1 hour in the answer, wrong. I'm not talking about the 1 hour in the answer, wrong. I'm not talking about the 1 hour in the answer, wrong. That's it. Because you need to verify. How can you know if on the same time frame that the POI is, it closed inside or not? This is what indicates the invalidation. You know, if you don't go on the 1 hour to verify, it's wrong. That's it. You don't even stay on the 15-minute. You always go on the same time frame that the POI is. Okay? And it's not true that we don't care about the POI closure in the strategy at all. That's not true, because that's what makes the POI invalid or not. You know, so this is wrong. So everyone who said it because we don't care about the POI closure at the strategy, in the strategy at all, it's false. Straight away, it's false, because we do care. So it's false. H, no, you don't, because it closed above the POI. How can you know? We're talking about the 1 hour POI and the 15-minute time frame. You don't know. This is the exact thing that happened on USDGPY or on Euro. I don't remember, but I think it was on right here. It's the exact same thing that happened on Euro USD. If you go on the 15 minutes, it closed above the 1 hour POI. You see? But it's the 15-minute, and this is the 1 hour POI. So you need to go on the same time frame that the POI is to verify. Then you verified, oh, it closed inside. It's fine. You take the trade, you know? So by always staying on the 15-minute, you don't know. You always need to go on the 1 hour and verify. Okay, so that's why the right answer was F. Okay, so yeah, this person right here, go on my Instagram and just send me a message and prove that this is your YouTube channel. So basically just by taking a screenshot or a video recording of your dashboard, and yeah, just send me a message. This is my Instagram, as you can see, exactly right here. It's gonna be as well in the caption, the description, or as well send me a message on Discord. So same username on Discord if you want to add me, guys, on Discord as well, or send me a messages, or anyway, everything is here. So yeah, congratulations, you're the only person who got it right. And yeah, that's pretty much it. So guys, next time, remember, okay, you always need to verify, always. Okay, that's it. So yeah, guys, thank you for joining. That's pretty much it, what we're gonna have for today. If you have any additional questions, send me a message on Instagram or Discord. And except for that, I'm gonna see you next time, so next Saturday, for another live stream. And if not, see you next time, and have